Here at the Housing Foundation, we will take an oath to administer the business. But before we do, I would like for us to reflect on the approach of the vision of a region where all housing needs are met in the coming year. Let us be hopeful, and in that hope, let us know that there will be suffering, and let us attend to the needs of those who suffer and suffer with them, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. Hope is different from optimism. It is more powerful than optimism. Optimists believe tomorrow will be better. And when a collection of tomorrows do not yield better results, they often surrender. But hope remains steadfast in the midst of knowing that even though everything is not okay, it's okay. Now, maybe there's a beauty in this, and I want to remind us of a book we probably all read when we were young in school. And if you're like me, you forgot about it. We're like that with a lot of books. Perhaps we should read them when we're 45 or 55 or even 65, because then we have some of life's experiences under our belts and we can maybe make better sense of it. And the book I want to recall is The Diary of Anne Frank. And there's an amazing passage in there. And Anne Frank was this amazing girl holed up at her house. She could not go out because if she did, that would be to imperil her life. And she writes, "At such moments, I don't think about all the misery, but about the beauty that still remains. This is where Mother and I differ greatly. Her advice in the face of melancholy is, think about all the suffering in the world and be thankful you're not a part of it." Well, I don't think Mother's advice can be right, because what are you supposed to do if you become a part of the suffering? You'd be completely lost. On the contrary, beauty remains, even in misfortune, if you just look for it. You discover more and more happiness and regain your balance. A person who is happy will make others happy. A person with courage and faith will never die in misery. And I read this passage because I believe in the midst of all the challenges related to meeting the housing needs for all, beauty still remains here in this Zoom. And now is the time for courage. Because a footnote to the declaration about suffering leading to endurance and character and hope is that suffering can also produce cynicism and isolation, bitterness and frustration. And that's why it's important that we are together and rely on one another, because whenever one of us is weak, another can be strong. Now, I'm not naive nor delusional to believe that this distinguished body can solve the affordable housing crisis, but I am hopeful that we can suffer with those who suffer, endure with those who must endure, build character with those who need character, and be a source, an unwavering source of hope. Now raise your right hand as I read the oath for the Canopy Housing Foundation. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer the office to which you have been appointed to the best of your ability and judgment, and in the conformity with the bylaws of the Canopy Housing Foundation? Do you certify that you will observe and abide by the laws of North Carolina and South Carolina? That you will, in all your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, charity, justice, and fair play, and act accordingly to protect the legally conferred nonprofit status of the Canopy Housing Foundation? Do you so subscribe?
I do.
I do.
There we
do.
go. There we go. Thank you. You can lower your hands. By the virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim you to be duly and officially installed as the 2021 officers and directors of the Canopy Housing Foundation. Congratulations, and thank you all very much.